All right, man. Let's give our listeners your name, your age, where you're from, chassis, motor builder, and how long you've been racing.
All right, hi everybody. My name is Michael Brown. I'm 29 years old. I'm from Oblong, Illinois. That's like South Central Illinois. Uh, I'm a multi-chassis, multi-brand kart racer. I run any class from box stock, Predators, all the way up to small block open. Shaker Racing Engine's my engine builder. But like I said, I like trying new chassis and uh, trying them all. So I've been doing racing as an adult for about 6 years. Uh, so.
Sweet.
Okay, so you never raced in the junior divisions?
No, but that's kind of in one of the later questions. So whenever I was in junior high, it started out, we went to an indoor show, Des Moines, Illinois, and I got
Yes. Yeah.
to go and watch and see some karts and stuff. And then after that, I really enjoyed it. So we ended up buying a chassis, and then we built a little track back behind our shop where our construction business is. And but then we had three or four karts back there, and things were it was fun, but we ended up getting rid of those and bulldozing the track, and then I was out of it until after I got out of college.
So what was your first chassis? Do you remember?
So back then, like I said, when I was in junior high, I think we had there was like one that was like a Pennzoil looking Indy car. There was one that was a yard car, but like, oh
I
no,
gotcha.
I'm like Peter. And then one of them was like a left turn dirt cart, but it wasn't fully adjustable. I'm not sure exactly what chassis that one was.
Gotcha.
But then my first one that I actually started doing well on, like since I've been an adult, was like a 90s Coyote chassis.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've had several since then, and like I said, I like trying them all.
Yeah, for sure. Um, so kind of you talked already about going to that indoor race and the coin is the coin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
DuQuoin. Yeah,
The coin. I always remember seeing it. There was always big Thanksgiving races. Like it always was like a
so
yeah, right chance didn't. It was either you go to Batesville or that's why
Yeah.
Brent and them would go there instead of Batesville a lot of times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um So, you go to that and then you kind of get out of it a little bit and then you come back hard, you said after college, right? Or
yeah.
kind of,
So a good friend of mine from high school, he hit me up after I had been out of college and back working full time and all that. But he said, we're running some karts. We got a little track up here. You should come up and ride one of mine.
mhm,
And I did and got hooked on it. And like I said, then that was about 6 years ago, and I've been full force in it ever since.
yeah, for sure. That's
It's very similar to well, I raced for a long time and then I quit for about 2.5, 3 years. And I
Yeah,
went to help Alex and man, I've been slowly buying everything back and I'm finally at a point where I have everything I need.
yeah.
he's faster than me again, so now it's a problem.
Dang it.
Yeah.
I've been seeing those pictures. That's cool. Sounds like you've been doing pretty well lately.
Yeah, man. We had a good weekend. It was so hot, man. Like I wish we didn't race in the summer sometimes, but the win the two wins made it worth it, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Finally starting to understand these Reapers a little bit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's so where I'm at. I have one set of Reapers, and it is for Christmas. My father-in-law hand built a chassis wagon for my son.
Yeah.
He's
They're
2 years
bolted on
old.
that.
He's about to be 2 years old. Yeah, and he put some bright shiny Vancays on it and a set of Reapers. But we do a lot of Burris racing here,
Yeah.
and then Yellow Vegas, and then I've
Yeah.
actually got a couple sets of AJCs in there. No, absolutely no Maxes. I've
Yeah.
never been on a cart that had Well, I'll scratch that. One time, I went to Batesville. I got to meet you guys there, but
Yeah.
I was on a set of White Maxes
Yeah, I
there.
did.
But
I did throw in Batesville today. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit because that was a pretty funny
Yeah,
for
that
me.
was
It was
yeah,
that was
for
pretty
sure.
funny. Yeah. So talking through the 6 years so far, who's kind of been some people that you kind of been able to like you know, kind of bang ideas off of, kind of look for some guidance of that nature, you know?
So the two major ones, Buddy Wilson,
Hmm.
he's been a big mentor for me. He's helped me out with tires, and that's something that I knew nothing about. So he's helped me out with that, especially the Burris stuff. Started buying cuts from him, and I mean, I'm not a big customer by any means. You know, I buy one or two sets a year, for our backyard racing, but he's helped me out a ton, and uh, I owe him for a lot. Set up stuff on carts. I mean, he's got a lot of experience, so that's cool to be able to bounce ideas off of him. He's always pretty really responsive. I shoot him a text or give him a call. He always hooks me up, and we do some buyout stuff. And sometimes whenever he gets a good buyout, he can pedal it down to me, and I
Kind of
can
hook
get
each
some
other
stuff
up.
new. Yeah, absolutely. Like we've bought and sold like carts to and from each other, and the same cart ends up going back and
Yeah.
forth. He actually just called me. I think yesterday and was wanting one of my current carts back, and we're always beating each other up on price. So we'll see if it happens. I don't know.
It's like two wholesalers, just kind of going at it,
Exactly. Yeah. And then another one's local guy Ryan Baker. He's the Shaker Racing engine builder. He builds our engines, and he's got a ton of knowledge. He was racing before like MB3 33 started,
Hmm.
um, but he things kind of slowed down. He never got rid of his karts, but once we started racing at our place, he started showing up and just absolutely dominating. He's very talented, and his stuff is his equipment is always immaculate, very well maintained, and
Yeah.
but he's a wizard on Phantom stuff as far as getting setups right. And um, what we found locally is that, the what they recommend on their website for the big sweeping turns out east in the Carolinas isn't always the perfect setup for,
Hmm.
man, when we say we run bull rings, like people are like, oh, I've been indoor racing, and when we went to Batesville, like you can fit MB33 like in the infield of Batesville,
Yeah.
and that's our outdoor track. So
Yeah.
it's like, and, real tight corners, and
I'm pretty sure I saw MB33 on YouTube.
I saw a little video. I think
Yeah.
the Prater guy,
yeah,
Michael
yeah,
Prater.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
yeah,
think I saw
Yeah.
his
Okay. Yeah.
video.
yeah. They're good dudes.
Yeah.
Them,
That place is a bull ring of a bull ring.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. No, but we have a construction business, so
Mhm.
we were able to carve the track out, build the dirt berms up, and
It's pretty
uh,
cool. It's pretty
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Looks like you
yeah,
got to drive the heck out of it, and that's what makes it really
absolutely.
cool.
Elbows up, man. And that's one thing that's really hard when you go from racing. I do a couple classes, and we run a very very quick show there. So it's like go from I'll go from like a super stock class to I roll over to my pit, climb out, and I'm going right back into the open cart to go right back
And then
out.
catch a
So
box stock class in the middle of all
yeah,
that and slow it all
right.
down.
That's
All day.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 That's awesome. So, what would be the biggest lesson you think you've learned about karting?
So one thing my grandpa has always been a big supporter of is like if you go out and the cart doesn't handle exactly, you don't win, there's changes to be made. So when that first started, we didn't understand these chassis fully. So we're moving tires in and out and doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and now that has evolved into like he ran like full size cars. He had stock cars back in the day, and then eventually developed into a dirt late model.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, so he was, big changes for him. But now I've kind of learned, and now he trusts me whenever I say, we're making a tire change, and
Yeah.
that's maybe
Yeah.
if it might be compound or how many wipes you got in
Just tell
over
him it's a lot like changing a spring.
Yeah.
Like a lot
there.
like
Yeah,
changing a
it's
spring and a shock.
That that's a big thing. Like I talk to a lot of people, and some of them are like, "Oh, what do you think about this chassis adjustment?" I was like, "Dude, I found one setup.
mhm.
I have two main base setups depending on the track I'm going to, and then
It's low bite and high bite.
yeah, and it's just like tires. Everything else is tire. Once you find that right balance, everything else is in the tires.
Mhm. That's
And
my
and a
yeah.
lot of people just want to tinker on their go-kart, and
Yeah.
you just sometimes you're gonna go backwards instead
Which
of
That's
forward.
honestly, I can't blame them because like in a perfect world, that was how it would be.
Oh, it
It's
still is sometimes. I mean,
yeah,
sometimes a
Yeah.
small cross weight,
Oh yeah,
moving
yeah.
moving
I'll
a
still make
spindle,
cross adjustments of the track
but
for sure.
that's probably about as much as I do. I don't go ripping on my camber, changing my caster
Yeah.
in the middle of a
Go-karts would
race.
be a little bit more
Yeah.
appealing if that's what we had to do was work on the chassis and not work on
Yeah,
the tires. It's something
sure.
Yeah.
that's the hot topic for a long time of it. But
And
I
back
could,
in the day, it was like that,
that's exactly how it was. Caster, camber,
and they
toe.
didn't have those adjustments. They were cranking on that with bars to bend the chassis. Like
Right.
crazy.
The Yeah, for sure. And we don't have huge cart counts, so the track changes a pretty significant amount from our heat races to our features. We don't usually qualify, but so, a lot of times the major change that we're waiting on is the track to come around, and
Yeah, more
by the
laps to
time
get on it.
yeah, we usually don't water in between, like during heat racing. So like
Mhm.
once every class has made it through the heat race, they'll throw some water down, and then the junior classes and box stock classes work it in. And by the time we get to like the open class or the super stock class, and the tracks, got more bite to it, and maybe those you get your better set of tires on, and makes a big difference. So
So, we kind of talked a little bit about it, with tires and setup and trying to figure everything out and all this good stuff. But what is maybe currently or a hump that you're trying to get over, hardest part of karting for you, you know?
probably goes back to tires. Like
Yeah.
I
I
think
mean, it's the hardest thing for everyone. I mean, you could be doing
yeah.
this for 20 years and tires will make you rethink your whole career, you know?
Sure. And on any given night, I mean, I may be on Burris in one class and Vega in another class. And so trying to find out, what prep am I using? And I mean, I've got a couple that I mean, you start right when you start to think you figured something out, then you go out there and, you're half a track off. And it's just like, gosh, darn it. So you got to try something else. But I felt like I'm starting to get that, and I wouldn't say mastered, but starting to get a
A
little
good
bit of it figured
routine,
out.
you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Once you get a routine at a racetrack, like you can get it pretty calculated and going.
I mean, this is something else that may be different for like us local, backyard racers, I'll call us, but we like we don't have, or, I mean, I've had some success by not doing a ton of weekly, like, I'm not wiping, 5 times before I get to the track. Sometimes what I've been doing lately is like hitting them hard, at the
At
track
the racetrack, yeah.
and getting them about to the same point. But uh, I mean, I know there's benefits to either way, and some tires are more adapted to accept that than others. But
I know a Vega can accept that. I know a Vega
yeah,
can accept that for sure.
yeah,
I've
yeah,
done some ungodly things to a Vega at a racetrack, so
right, yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, tires is tough, but I mean, and also finding time to get everything done. If you got so many hours to get, if there's 10 things to get done, you've got time to get 6 of them done. Unfortunately, sometimes my carts aren't. Sorry about that. There'll be another one coming. I'm a volunteer fireman here for our
oh,
local
we can't
area.
hear
So,
it, so you're good.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Sorry,
uh, but oh, what was I starting to talk
getting your
about?
carts ready.
Oh yeah, so sometimes I'm not proud of, my carts aren't always the cleanest ones at the racetrack, but
Yeah.
I try to make sure the bearings are
If
rolling real good and
the
get the
clutch is
important
clean
stuff.
and everything's ready to
Absolutely.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, yeah, when you got 45 go-karts to bring to the racetrack, it's kind of
Yeah,
tough,
that's for sure. Yeah. Uh, yeah, so
So
that's like I said, they're not always the cleanest. I usually try to give them a little wipe at the track so they don't look too bad, but I mean I don't have
be
they're not
really quick to get on the racetrack for practice. It's just like, oh, it's already dirty. It's practice,
yeah.
dirty for practice. I remember
Yeah.
I did that once. I was like, oh man, I freaking didn't wash my go-kart, but I still showed it to the racetrack. So I was like, my dad was like, why you want to be first one on the racetrack? I was like, so I could just tell people I practiced, and that's why it's dirty.
Right.
That's oh man. Uh, so where do you want your racing career to go? Like, do you have any goals, aspirations with that?
So people have asked, so because my grandpa came from late models and stuff, people ask me, when are you gonna get, go up, get something bigger? And I have zero desire to go anywhere else but karting. I really enjoy karting. I think me getting more is running more classes. So, I'm getting my fix by running multiple karts. So that's plenty good for me. So I want to stay in karts for the long haul. But eventually, I'd like to see my son get into it if he wants to. Kind of, I'm looking forward to that. Maybe, just trying to do the setup and stuff and get things figured out so he can succeed. Um, I'd like to branch out and go to some other, places.
Yeah.
You guys had Tony Bieber on, and I heard about Big B. I've seen that, that
Like
cushion
sick.
qualifying,
Yeah.
right? That's our style, that the little bull ring. So I like to make. I'm trying to maybe get over there this fall. Um, there's a couple other tracks that I'd like to visit and try what they got going on. But place up in northern Illinois or northern Indiana called Woody Raceway, and they run a
Hmm.
very specific rule set. Like they've got it's like a modified Predator, probably comparable horsepower to a clone, but they build all of the engines and seal them, and you have to buy it from them. And then they've got to actually have a chassis rule. It's got to be like an '07 or older.
Oh, so it's kind of like the Yard Card National rules, kind of.
Uh, s- well, not
The engine rule's
exactly.
not the same, but like the chassis rule kind of the same.
Well, the chassis with the yard car guys are they don't allow the noses.
Okay, yeah, that's what it is. Okay, yeah.
Right. So I think you can have a brand new cart out there, but your toes are out there in the open
Yeah.
Yeah.
with those guys, and they run like a small block open with a muffler, I think,
Yeah.
and like uh, hopper stoppers or whatever. But they've got like that '07 or older rule, which is going to tie in. I think later we may talk about like karting buyouts and stuff. But I've got a client. I'll call him a client. One of the guys that buys carts from me. His name's Kevin Madison. He's bought a bunch of carts off me, but that's like a real niche area. There's carts from like '04 to '07, like when the early fully adjustable stuff.
Hmm.
Mm,
The Phantom Nemesis and Phenoms and
Phenom.
Yeah.
Oh
the
yeah.
the
Phenom was
Blaze
a great.
Octanes from Ultramax. Those are like the sweet spot for them. Like they love those carts. So anytime I get one of those come through the shop, I'm always hollering up at him and seeing if he's needing anything. So
Looking for
that's
like a laser or something if they even have those
yeah.
around or something.
Yeah, I think I saw one of those pop up. One of our local racers had bought one and sent me a picture of it here not too long
Raceway.
ago.
I
But
haven't seen one of those in forever.
yeah, um,
I haven't seen a shadow in forever.
I've had a couple shadows come through. I think Kevin actually has bought one of those for me as well. But man, there's so many. That's something that's cool is just seeing the different carts come through the shop.
Mhm.
I don't think I've had every Phantom cart, but I've had just about everyone. I've had Banshee, Nemesis, Phenom, of course the Tritons.
The
I've even
icon,
had
Serb, all the stuff.
Recon, Deuce. I've had one Deuce come through. I've had a few sites, so it's cool.
What about a
Oh.
Tricon? You got that come through yet?
I got one in my stable.
Oh,
Do you
there you
really?
go.
Yeah.
Heck
So
yeah.
that's something funny about our dirt classic race that was in May. I had the picture that I sent you of the red, white, and blue body kit.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So I unveiled it there, and that was kind of just to get at Ryan Baker,
Mm.
really good friend of mine. Like I said, builds my engines, but he's been wanting one. He's a Phantom guy through and through. But whenever I got, so like I said, he's the idol around here. Like he used to win all the time, and all the
Mhm.
people, go to him for advice. And he's on Phantom. I got to have a Phantom. Well, I had a Triton, and I ended up getting rid of it. And then, well,
Bad
anyway,
move.
everybody was flocking to Phantom. So that's whenever I just sold a Ultramax Rival, and then like that day, they teased the Evolve. And I was like, oh man, I have to get it. So that was the very first new chassis that I had ever bought was an Evolve in 20, well, in 23, I think is whenever it was. But anyway, yeah. Like I said, Ryan's a big Phantom guy. So like I actually reframed a scythe into the Tricon that just came in and uh, he was like, you bought that just to make me mad, didn't you? So
That's awesome.
yeah. So
Was it good? Did you like it?
So first night out at the Dirt Classic, I didn't do well on. I kind of had a dud engine. It was something that I hadn't rebuilt over the winter. It kind of laid down, didn't do very well. But uh, Ryan actually took a half day at work a couple weeks ago, finished my motor on Friday when we were racing. He's like, "I got your thing done," and I was like, "Well, crap, I don't have a cart ready for that." So anyway, I got put a different bot. That red, white, and blue one back to it. It was one that came from a buyout that was probably 20 plus years old. Like it was bright white when it was new. I peeled the old stickers off and It was still like bright white behind me.
Everything else is like a faded yellowish white.
Yeah, yeah, it looked like super retro. So my graphic guy, Ace Graphics, he's local, Jason Downey. He hooked me up with like some like retro stuff. But anyway, that body kit was like an eggshell, and we touch each other at MB33. There's a lot of banging that goes on. That thing was destroyed when the night was over. But anyway, Ryan got that engine done for me, and I had to throw an old body kit on. But I showed up that night, bolted the engine on at the track, and then it ended up beating him in the super stock class. I was stoked. So that was my
Oh
first
yeah.
win on the Tricon. So I was very happy with it.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
So, what would you say, after aspirations, you talk about your son a little bit, things of
Mhm.
that nature, but what would you say for yourself has probably been the biggest win or the biggest moment, memorable win?
Oh man, so here locally, we started in like the end of 2019, but another track, we it's kind of crazy. Like my house, 3 miles down the road is MB33 at another
Hmm.
piece of property that we have. 5 miles south of my house is another track that opened up in 2020 after we got rolling at MB33, and then we had one for about 2 years, like 3 miles the other
It
way.
was
Like
like contagious, you know?
it
Yeah.
was awesome. Like we had all the racing we could want right here, like in our county. But the other place is called Scheidler Speedway. It's literally in one of our friends' front yards. It's a comparable size to MB33, but it's a little bit wider and it's got banks all the way around. It's like a big bowl. Super cool. But they have a memorial race every year called the Scheidler Shootout. His Lance and Luke, their father Scott, he passed away, but he was big fan of racing. But they have a memorial shootout race for him every September
Hmm.
around Labor Day. But that one's the very first one. Um, there was we had like a stage one Predator class, and I was on that '90s Coyote cart. I had like two left front tires on the left side, two left rears on the right side. Like that's the way that it came, and that's the way I ran that cart and had
Wait,
success with
you
it.
didn't like even change anything? Just ran it like that?
Well, no, so I had some Hoosier D10s. That's what I was running on it. Like
Oh, okay,
so,
okay, okay.
I bought new. It had like these old like 5 inch treads on it whenever I got it, and they were
Hmm.
fast too. But uh, I
Kind
don't
of,
know. It was
if it
just
ain't broke, don't fix it, Just
yeah. So that's so I yeah I had purchased new Hoosier D10s, which like I said I didn't know anything about tires at that time. It was our first year,
yeah.
but anyway they were soft and I didn't have to do hardly anything. But I started back row that race and ended up passing for the win on like the last lap. And
Hell yeah.
this old car, the fiberglass body kit was like it's kind of like it wasn't like the huge late model nose, but it was like an old fiberglass body kit. But I had it all taped up on the bottom side, and I was in my helmet just thinking I was like, man, I got like one more good push in this thing before it's trashed, and I gave him a nudge and ended up getting that win. And I just remember like driving around with the flag and just everyone was going nuts, and that one was super cool.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
but then like I guess like the Holy Grail event around here, it would be the winning the open class there. So I'd ran it probably last year was probably my third. I don't know if I ran it the second year or not. Uh, I probably tried two or three or four times now, but last year I won two classes. I ran four, I got 2 seconds and two wins last year at that memorial race, and the open class is like that's a pretty big deal. So I was really excited about that one. My family was there. That's the one of the pictures that I sent. I think the one you posted on Facebook. I'm
Yeah.
holding my son. My
Yeah.
son's there.
That's
My
cool.
wife. The
Everybody's
whole
wearing
thing.
like matching t-shirts. What was that about? What's the matching
But yeah, you
t-shirts?
guys, you guys are doing a good job with your advertisements. That came from Sublimited. They
Oh,
hooked me up.
okay.
Oh, there you go.
Heck yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. So I got a suit from them, and I also did like some pit shirts. Like we had like the that cart actually doesn't match the shirts, but my open cart from that night matches like yellow and pink and
Yeah.
blue paint splatter.
That's
But
cool.
yeah, so um, yeah, I had a bunch of matching shirts that night, so
Heck
it
yeah.
was pretty cool. The whole family was there to. I love like winning pictures are cool, but it's to me it's cooler if you can get everybody that's helped you out, get them
The
involved
family.
in the
Yeah,
picture. Yeah,
for
I really
sure.
like that. Yeah.
All right, man. So, what's the reason behind the number 30?
So my grandpa Mike, he like I was telling you before, he raced stock cars back, before I was even born, but he was always the number 30 and his stock cars eventually turned into He had a dirt late model right before he quit racing, so that was super cool. I was so young, I didn't get to go watch him race very much. I only remember maybe a couple times being at the track, but I remember him working on the car out in his garage, and uh, like I said, he's always loved racing. But there was like a full size dirt car track like in Stoy, Illinois, which is it's not really a town. It's like I don't know
Like a
a little bit.
village, kind of.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
technically Oblong's a village too, but
Yeah.
anyway, it's MB33 is technically just on the outskirts of Stoy as well, so
Mhm.
that's kind of goes hand in hand with the racing history that goes there. But my grandpa had a track championship out there at Stoy, which was really cool. So
Oh, sweet.
you hear a lot of locals around here saying, hey, I remember when your grandpa was out there racing at Stoy, and
That's
he was
cool.
always number 30. So I adopted that, and
Yeah,
I'm pretty proud to
I didn't
keep
get
him
to ask.
included.
Didn't get to ask. Did your dad do any racing or anything like that? Like,
No, no. So actually, my grandfather raised me and my sister.
oh,
So
okay, okay,
yeah. So my dad wasn't always in the picture. So, but
gotcha.
my grandpa's has more than filled that shoes, and
Yeah,
he's been a huge impact on my life.
gotcha.
Gotcha. For sure. All right. So Batesville, man. I think you had mentioned you were going out there,
Yeah, I think he
and
had
then
texted the page or something, and
yeah, and you started talking to me, and we had like a full blown
I think
conversation.
he talked to me first, and I was just talking. I was
Yeah,
just
I
just
introduced
straight
myself.
up,
I'm like, hey,
yeah.
man.
Yeah,
And I was like, hey,
and
I was like, Chance, hey, this is Michael. This is the guy
yeah,
that talks about Joey Logano all the time.
That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then we sit down for drivers meeting, and you're
Yep.
right in front of us, but I don't realize it's you. And then I'm just look down, and you have a shirt that says 3, 2, 1, and like our logo and everything. I was like, what? And then you turn around. I was like, I had a full blown conversation with you, and I had no idea you made your own 4TF shirt.
It's
A little
funny.
bit of custom merch. Yeah. I broke that out for day two, but yeah, I was pretty excited about that. Like I said,
That was
I
cool.
That was
it's
super cool.
no, I had been listening for quite a while by then. I was just like, I love your guys' content, and like I'm all about it. So that was
Appreciate it. So,
yeah.
how did you find our podcast?
Oh man, I'm not sure. I
Facebook.
guess we're the first.
It's pretty much where we advertise most of
Yeah, it
98% of everything is on Facebook.
had to be somebody, one of like probably somebody that I had met through like buyouts, sharing one of your guys' posts or something. But
Yeah.
and maybe Ryan told me about it. I wasn't like from the very beginning, but I think Ryan definitely sent me the James Stanley
I
interview.
got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, like I said, since then, like I watched that one and then went back, watched a bunch of the other, or listened to a bunch of the other ones, and like I said, I've been
And
tuning
we
in every week
we've bonded
since.
over Joey Logano ever since. So
Yeah, you guys just,
Bonded
I,
over Joey Logano,
man, you guys were on a tear a couple weeks ago.
yeah.
Your year three, I was laughing my head off. So
And I think I said something like Michael close your ears. You're probably not gonna want to hear
yeah,
this.
I was so I was excited about this interview, but you had sent me over the question list, and I was laying in bed reading it last night, and I laughed out loud when I got to that. My wife's like, what's the matter?" But yeah, so
Well, everybody will get that when we talk about
Oh yeah.
yeah,
it.
for sure.
So a little bit more about Batesville. How was your weekend there? And
Day one went good, then second day had a hiccup in practice or something like
Well, I mean, I don't know. So if I winning, I've won a hand like a fair amount around here locally. That's nowhere near the competition level that these people are seeing at these big tracks that have huge car counts and stuff like that. So being good locally does not mean you're good everywhere else. But uh, I would say I'm probably a little underpowered, underprepared, and driver mistakes can all be attributed to that. But no, I was my very first time going to Batesville. Um, Buddy Wilson let me kind of work out of his pit area, kind of took me under his wing. Kyle Phelps, I owe some thanks to him. He kind of helped me out on the tires there. He wasn't racing, but he was pit help for Buddy as well. But no, I went down there, and our small block opens here because it's such a small. We've got, man, probably 2,000, 2,500, 3,000 RPM drops through our corners.
You can't
So
have much power. I mean, you'll just blow the tires off.
there you go. So like if having a ton of power doesn't always make you fast because you can't get it spooled up much before our turns are coming
Hmm.
again. So we actually Ryan has learned to dial them back a little bit, and he's always been giving me almost the same thing he's bolting on his carts, but trying stuff. But so little less is a little bit better for throttle
Oh
response and
yeah.
stuff. But anyway, took my small block open down there and ran all right. Like I said, I'm just figuring out the track and different tires and stuff. But it was good. I ran small block open and pro unlimited Friday and Saturday. Signed up for both, and I qualified. I think like ninth or 11th for pro unlimited on Friday, and then I missed the other shows. But anyway, it was cool
I
to be
mean,
able to go
shit.
out
I mean,
there.
there's in unlimited, there's 450s and Jawas in there, so
Oh
that's
man,
you
yeah.
Yeah.
know that's the cooler part, you know.
The billets
Yeah.
shining everywhere, and I didn't have anything billet on mine. I don't have
You know,
no head, no
and you
block
just
or
you know,
anything.
it makes you think. It's like, man, if I just had maybe even like a, you know, billet head on it or something like that, you know, the difference it could have made, you know.
Sure. And I think that may tie into your previous question is, some aspirations for me in karting. I think, that would be amazing to get a slot machine because um, I am a big supporter of cool trophies. Like I love trophies. I
Yeah.
love trophy. I was talking about, showing up multiple classes. If there's trophies on the line, you can count on me being there with multiple cards. So
And we'll talk about it, but y'all MB 33 trophies a couple weeks ago that we had talked about on here, dude, they were freaking sick.
yeah.
Yeah.
So my father-in-law, he's super talented, loves tinkering in the garage and welding and stuff, but he's built some very, very cool trophies over the years. I'll have to send you guys a couple other pictures, but he did the clocks for this year out of the engine, and those are all broken engine parts.
That's
Ryan
so
hooks me
cool.
up with his graveyard and send stuff, and we're making like there's billet flywheels and stuff in some of these trophies, and expensive parts and heads that we've
They're
broken.
broken that you can't do anymore, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And a bunch of billet rods and stuff. There's he did sculptures a couple like last Dirt Classic, so like in the like he was like carving like super cool faces in
Like
pistons.
with a stencil, like a Dremel.
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
That's
And then
cool.
one like the open one had a spark plug coming out of the corner of the mouth, looked like a big old
Like it
stogie.
was just, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
cool.
that's
Uh,
awesome. That's
Man,
cool.
so cool. But I didn't get to take home a clock this year, so I was a little bit bummed about that. But
Yeah.
that's all right. But no, there's that's what we want is something that's, you know, you said money can't buy. It's just a super cool trophy. So
Yeah.
that's
Something
something we
unique.
really like. So
Going back
So
to something really, oh, go ahead,
oh,
Chance.
I was just gonna say, so can we see you back in Batesville this year?
I hope so. Yeah, my wife's super understanding. She knows my love for racing. So uh, I'm not gonna say definitely, but I'd say it's a good probability.
I will
Gotcha.
say
Well,
Batesville's such a wild place in the unlimited and small block class because it's literally just survival. It's just
Oh, that's the thing.
survive till the
Yeah.
end, and like you could put a clone on there and you might actually win it because everybody's
Bingo.
either gonna blow up, wreck, or run out of fuel. So
Yeah. That's something I realized looking back. It's like, I ended up pulling off because I saw the leaders coming around. I didn't want to ruin anybody's race, so I got out of their way. But if I stuck out there right after I came off, like 4 car pile up,
and there's
wrecked them,
caution,
like crashed
and
them all.
it's like what?
Yeah.
No, no,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it
So
is pretty crazy. It's survival of the fittest. You just have to make the show. And if you just
yeah.
make the show, you have a chance to win. You know, it's
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And I Ryan said, well, heck, if I'd known you were going down there for that, or, if I'd been ready, he could have, sent me with something better. So I'm sure he would be able to hook me up if I'm going back this year.
yeah.
well,
It's,
I'll be there this year for both days instead of just one day.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
you
so if you're
drove.
out there,
Yep, I'll hit you guys up. I
Yeah.
won't be as bashful this year. I'll come say what's up.
yeah,
Yeah,
for
we'll be
sure.
cooking. Come get some Louisiana food. It's pretty
Oh, that sounds
solid.
good. Chance was talking about the shrimp festivals and crawfish festivals. That
Oh
sounds
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, we'll be same spot, but I think Chance is racing, I'm racing. We have a ton of people racing, so it's gonna be a good time. I always look forward to Batesville, even though it's yeah, I don't
Um,
know. It is it's
one more little Batesville tidbit. I was in the stands watching. I'm not sure which feature it was for you, but
oh
when the
damn it.
I was like right across the aisle from Autumn whenever you rolled on the front or on the back stretch.
Oh, and he got peer
He's-
pressured into
Oh
getting
my,
back in. It made
exactly.
for a
He's like,
good
Dude,
what are
I
TikTok.
you
didn't I
doing?
didn't want
Everyone's
to.
saying, get back in, get back in.
That
I
man
don't
got
know.
pressured.
I was just doing it for the people. I wasn't
Oh,
there was nothing in my body that wanted to do more than just go crawl in a hole, and that was a super heavy warm-up race on Saturday.
yeah, that
And
was
then
awesome.
I I'm glad it looked awesome. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
That's the true spirit of racing right there. So,
Yeah.
we've got a oh man, Larry Sturkey is a guy from about 30 minutes away from here, and he's late 60s, and
Mhm.
he races with us every single week that we have a race. And he turned his card over last week in like the stage one Predator class. He had a box. There was only two box stocks that showed up for that race, and he's like, "Oh, we can just run with the next class up." He turned his over at the start of the feature, flipped it back on his tires, came back and won it. And it
Hell
was it
yeah.
was awesome. And he
I don't
said he
know
was
what
sore the
possessed
next
him
week. It was so cool.
because we had literally we so the funny thing for that race, we started second for sumo, and we put something on. We started like ninth for this race. I think we're just gonna try something. I get crashed like on the second lap. So I'm sitting up on top of turn one and two wall. And as soon as I get a caution, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hold back, ride, and then all of a sudden I catch the back of the field and they start crashing on the backstretch. So I have to hit the brakes, try to miss it. And I've never in my life just grip flipped. Like just completely grip flipped. Like it turned right and it just caught itself and went whoop.
Yep.
And
But for everybody listening and everybody that knows Alex, I mean, when you that top heavy above the shoulder area, you kind of tend to roll if you grip.
yeah. So
All
then
that
I was like,
momentum.
you know what? I'm gonna get something out of this moment and make everybody happy. So
Man got 30 seconds of fame on Facebook,
yeah,
couple
Yeah.
thousand shares,
Worth it.
couple hundred
Yeah.
well
thousand
worth it.
views.
What's up? What's up with the trick? It's an LTO, isn't it?
LTO, yeah.
You guys teased something about it. I was wondering if Austin was going to get in it or what was going on.
Uh, it's kind of just sitting there right now. It's kind of my Predator go-kart.
Okay.
I have my buddy TJ bought a 2024 Evolve, and I run that now when I as my first go-kart, but kind of when I'm at home just running some local racetracks, I run the LTO. Um,
Okay.
Kind
but
of kind of was one of those things where I would kind of just fill in and run it where I can because we within the last year, I mean, we've been saving for a house and we're getting married next year, so trying to save and do all that. But there is a race or two here and there that I will be trying to get into seat for this coming year. But TJ actually also bought another chassis that's kind of want to keep on the low that I'm gonna be running for those races and hopefully get back out to Batesville because Batesville, I mean, if I want a slot machine, I'm pretty sure I would 100% just be okay with never sitting in a go kart again.
Yeah, that's a good thing to retire and go
That's
out with a
that's
bang.
just like I. It's like I was telling my fiance, I'm like, if I went out there and I won on the Friday night, you can expect me to just be chilling in the stands come Saturday. I would end it on a high note. It's not going to be, oh, you won the Friday night and then you finished 47th or didn't make the show on Saturday. Nope. We're just going to end it on a high note. And that would be that.
Chance is
Be a
trying to
good.
win the 50 and over class this year,
Yeah.
so
Chance got to run. Chance
50
is
and
running with
over.
the handicap placards.
NEF and
Yeah.
over 35.
Hey man, there's stout competition in that class.
You gonna run
There
any elite
is
races, or you just gonna run?
elite over 35.
No, I think me and Ethan talked about it. I'm gonna run light and maybe pro light, NEF, and then both over 35s.
There's two over 35s?
Yeah, both
Saturday and
days.
Sunday.
Oh,
Friday and
Friday
Saturday.
and Saturday.
okay.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm running three a day. So
Yes, I think it's like 2 and 3.
out of all of our pit spots, we're gonna run 20 out of the 22. So we'll be just fine. We'll be
Yeah.
just fine.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I'm
Sweet.
gonna get a call. Hey man, as soon as Hannah gets off on Thanksgiving Day, I need you to run up here and we need some help.
We'll be all right.
Yeah, be just fine. I think, as long as, yeah, as long as it don't rain, we'll be okay.
Yeah, when
That's
But
does it not rain at Batesville?
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
but
basically trying not to run the same classes as Ethan.
yeah,
That's kind of where it's
give
at.
Ethan a break in light. Yeah, need
Yeah.
to run light.
He's gonna run Elite Light, I believe. Only that one.
Yeah, that pays 30 some $100, so I don't blame him. But
Yeah.
MB33, we've kind of talked about it a little bit. You kind of talked about the y'all construction company and stuff, building it, the racetrack. So, what was the conception of it? How did it get started? What was the thought process behind it?
So, and it was 2019 whenever I got back, into karting and
Hmm.
started and got a couple karts. But we were running up, again another track that I hadn't even mentioned yet, running up like 4 miles north of my house, and like a buddy's side yard, my other buddy that kind of got me come back out. But we just thought, hey, we got this 5 acres down the road, like we can throw a track together and add another place to the circuit so we can kind of bounce around. We had probably 12 to 15 guys at that time, that were running at the first place, and so we built that track the tail end of 2019 just to kind of have another place to run. And we started running there. We had more room for parking. There's like we don't have our house, no homes or none of our homes are there. We've got 5 acres there that
Just open field, kind of.
well, yeah, it's just off like it's actually Route 33 that runs right through our county. So that's
Oh, cool.
my grandpa's last name is Munson. I'm Brown, and then MB33. So
MB33. Yeah, heck yeah.
yeah, once we started running there, it was fun. It was like I said, away from the fan. Like it's a great thing having a race car or a racetrack in your backyard, but it's a terrible thing having a racetrack in your backyard.
Oh yeah,
So,
you kind of it
uh,
kind of gets old kind of quick,
yeah,
yeah.
so we were far enough away. We have one set of neighbors that's like relatively close, but we try to be respectful of that. We've never had any issues with them. They're super cool. And
Keep a good relationship.
anyway, once we started running there, we just started running there all the time. I remember we got probably the first time I ever said, "Hey, come on, guys, come over." We had like 6 carts show up. Cool. Next week it was 10. Then it was 25, and then like we just kept flipping. And it's like I bought like this little. It's almost like a karaoke machine because like at the driver's meeting, things were loud, engines running. We're like I was trying to talk to like a crowd of 20 people,
Kind of talk
and
over
then
that generators and stuff, and it gets
yeah,
tough.
exactly. Yeah. And then, like 2 races later, that thing was way too small. So we've since upgraded like PA systems twice since then.
Oh heck yeah.
So it's like I said, we have a few sets of bleachers out there. We get a fair amount of just spectators coming to watch. I would
Some
say we
lights,
probably get more spectators that aren't there with a cart than the average track.
which
You
is
know,
cool. That's
yeah.
badass.
Like yeah, but then of course there's room for lawn chairs and stuff like that, but like I said, it just kept growing, kept growing, kept growing, and we've been a little over 60 carts probably on our biggest night,
That's
which
solid. That's
yeah,
really solid for a local race.
yeah, yeah. And we
You're
actually used to
y'all are beating Louisiana if you didn't know that.
oh man, I've heard you guys kind of get on that soapbox. I hate to hear that.
Yeah.
It's scheduling conflicts and stuff that sucks. But that's one thing about us. Like we don't like none of our or most all of our racers are here to run here in this county. So we do. There's one track, Miller's Raceway in Montgomery, Indiana.
Hmm.
I would try. I've tried to kind of work with them and not schedule on top of them, but their racers don't come here. A handful of our racers go there, so it's like not huge conflict there. But
Yeah, kind of far enough away to where you can guys can.
sure, yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, we got going, and it's a very, very family oriented thing. My grandpa's there; he loves the track work, getting the track ready, stuff like that. I help him out with that. Um, keep the keep the grass mowed up, all that kind of stuff. But then my father-in-law, he's like in charge of staging. My wife and my sister-in-law are like in the sign-in desk, getting people signed in, and we don't do transponders. They are so fast. I think they we can we I think they could probably beat the average crew on transponders with pen and
The
paper.
hand
They're
scoring.
they're
Yeah,
awesome.
it takes some talent to do that. Like that is a art.
Yeah, they're so good at that. They no complaints. They're always there, before the drivers meeting, getting people signed up, doing waivers, all that kind of stuff. My uncle, who's also involved in our construction business, him and his wife are on the scales. It's just it's a lot of fun.
Seems like just a family affair that gets
It's
together and just has a
yes,
good time.
absolutely. Yep, for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, so Um, but yeah, that's MB33. So
That's badass, man. That's so cool.
yeah,
And it's kind
yeah.
of like what's kind of the goals with it? Is it to kind of keep growing with it or keep it at the rate where it's fun, not get too serious with it? You know, like what's
That's something that's very important with us is keeping it fun. So we do a no entry fee, no pit pass policy. There's everybody's there at their own risk. We've got like a little tire that says, track improvement fund. If someone wants to throw a little bit of money in there, they can. Nobody's required to. But that's we keep fun at the very utmost importance. If you win a race at our track, you get like a 2-inch sticker that says feature winner at MB33. So that's what you get to
So,
walk away with, and then some bragging rights. So
yeah, so it really is all about fun because there's no money
absolutely,
involved,
yep,
like no payouts, no
nope,
not man, that's pretty cool.
yep. So my
I don't
grandpa, like I said, there we do the fair races. I was talking a little bit about that. We make a little bit off of that, and we have a purse for those nights. But we do a couple fair races, and that kind of helps fund things for us. Helps us get some equipment. Helps us buy our PA system. But Grandpa pays the electric bill and water bill just because he loves having the track and having people come out. So as far as growth and stuff like that, we like from year one to year four was all up. And I think this is probably, I wouldn't call it a down year, but it's kind of like, oh, maybe a plateau. We're starting to kind of, I think we've got room for more if we wanted to, but that's one thing I'm trying not to do is add too many classes. We usually start our racing at 6:30 and we're done before 9. For our small shows, we get through them and
damn.
we're pretty proud of that fact. Like I said, like I said, they're hand scoring right in the. We got whiteboards that once the lineups are posted, you come back up at the sign-in desk, check the whiteboards, and but anyway, no, we get through stuff and we can continue to do that with more carts, but people were asking, and it's like I would still enjoy going out there if it got back down to 25, 15 carts. Like those are the ones that enjoy it as much as I do, and if it goes back down to one or two classes, and we're just going out there and having fun with a few friends, that's okay too. But I'm proud of what we've built, and like I hope it can last for long enough for my boy to get in the cart. So we'll see.
That's 22 and a half hour night. That's the dream, man.
Yeah.
I
one heat
like
It's
race
that.
or two heat races?
one heat race, no
Mhm.
qualifying. So we do random pill draw for your heat race position, and then you race into your feature.
Yeah, hot laps heat race feature.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
We do. We did points the past 2 years, and we decided not to do. So we didn't. We're not doing point series this year, and that's made it even easier on my wife and my sister-in-law.
Having
Uh,
them do all the math and stuff every
Yeah.
week and all that.
Well,
Yeah.
they would write down the finishing order, and then I would bring it home and punch it into the Excel file and do that part of it. But they had to write down the finishing order perfect. And that there's
I
always
finished
that
fourth that
guy.
one time, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. What or they'll ask us like, the next morning or maybe even later that night, like, hey, what'd you have me finishing at? It's like, man, I don't know yet. Give me a week and then I'll have something posted. But yeah, it's a little bit less work on them, a little bit less work on me, and keeps fun. We hope there's a new winner every race. We
Yeah.
like some variety, get some new people in victory lane, and keeping it fun. So
I like that, man. It's you really truly it's grassroots racing at its
yeah,
finest
absolutely.
in the go-karting form, you know.
I'm
It's
So
almost
like
kind of
we,
I'm almost kind of jealous, you know?
yeah,
no.
You
it's
You
know?
just
guys
me.
the atmosphere is I would think I would like to think it's different. So it's like everybody truly is out there to try to, that's something I say at the drivers meetings like, hey, who are the new people here? Welcome.
It's like
If
the
you got any
purest form of the
questions,
sport, you know?
ask the guy next to you or ask the kids in your class because, we there's always, tough competition, but I feel like we share information more than people might that are racing trying to win that that
You
money
hear
or
that,
whatever.
Chance?
So
Yeah,
You hear
well,
that,
I'm
Chance?
not racing for no entry fees around here. No, nobody's doing that. So
yeah, it's a very family atmosphere. It's like the Praters have came and raced with us that you guys were talking about, and that's one thing that they brag about. It's like, man, it's like it just takes things down a notch. Take the stress down a notch, turn the
Kind of put
fun
your
up
guard
one.
down, you
Yeah,
know? Yeah. Not
yeah,
everybody's out to get you. It's just here to have fun. It's almost in the sense, you come Like if you'd swap that up, you'd be like, whoa, what's the catch? Why is everybody being so nice?
Yeah.
Why are we
Yeah.
being so nice to each other? Like,
Right.
uh, but
Yeah.
so, talking about buying and selling,
Mhm.
it's kind of like a pastime other than your racing. What's the deal with the buyouts and all that, and then kind of separating them?
Oh, I mean, I didn't know where it was going to go, but I bought my very like the first cart that I got after, I decided I was going to get back in. I paid $100 for a roller. And then it wasn't much of a cart. I cleaned it up, painted it, ended up didn't love it, sold it. And then I bought another one. It's like, then I bought another one. Then I showed up to the track with two of them, and someone's like, "Hey, man, you want to sell one of those?" And I was like, "Okay, cool." So then from there, I just started flipping. It's like, oh, maybe I can. I'm a fiend on Facebook Marketplace. Like if it's
Yeah,
been posted for very long, like I'm snatching
you
them
got to
up. And
scratch that itch. If it
yeah,
has
but
one price cut, I'm
yeah,
in there.
yeah. Or usually it's like posted 20 minutes ago, and I'm on my way. But it started out, one cart here, one cart there, and then oh man, this guy's got two old chassis in the barn. He used to race, 20 years ago, and it was the $200 carts, and then I think it was a very like special time in karting maybe for around here. I don't because our place hadn't really grown yet. I think the buyouts were cheaper then. I was buying older carts then, but then that's developed into buying newer carts and newer carts and newer carts, and now we're buying and selling. There's people new stuff. 2022s and 2020s and the Chargers, the all that stuff out there. So
What's the furthest you've driven for a
I,
buyout?
I was wondering if so I know I've done somewhere. I don't remember what town exactly, but I've been Ohio. I know I've been all over Indiana and Illinois. I've been in Missouri, and then Tennessee and Kentucky. So that's like everywhere around us except Wisconsin, which I'm kind of in the southern part of Illinois. So uh, it takes like 4 hours to get to Chicago. So much further than that. I'd say probably
Wisconsin's a little far.
4.5 hours. I think I was southeast of Liberty, Kentucky. They've got an indoor
Yeah.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
race they do
Big
there, but
racetrack.
that was a huge buyout. I did that. I went partners with a buddy on that one, and we 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 drove down there in my half-ton pickup and drug a 24-foot trailer home packed full.
They just had a
It was
really solid
nuts.
buyout package down here. One of our
Yeah,
buddies sold out everything. I think it was like 25 grand and
yeah,
Trailer,
man,
every
trailer,
yeah.
single.
yeah, tire rack, two go-karts, multiple things. It
Oh
was
yeah.
crazy. If I had it, I'd have done it. I'd have done pulled the Michael Brown on him, but I just didn't have it.
It's kind of developed into a way from like I said, I like trying new stuff, but also I make a couple bucks on a cart here and there. It's helped fund my program, and
Yeah, it's not
like
like
I said,
supplemental. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. But absolutely no supplemental income. It's supplemental parts for me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying
Eh,
though.
eh,
Like if you can sell enough to cover what you want to
oh
keep,
yeah,
like
that's
it's a wash.
Is
I
there
have I would be in deep trouble if I wasn't doing these buyouts because I have no self control when it comes to buying stuff for karting. I'm hooked, man.
what
Uh,
is there any chassis you regret selling or wish you would have held on to?
So I had a small tube rival, and it was like a week before that shootout race I was telling you guys about. Sold it to a local friend of mine,
Is that
Rusty
when you're talking about
Dowdy.
the Evolve that just came out right after that? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So that car I really liked, and I was looking forward to running it in that memorial race. And he's like, "Ah, I think I kind of want it." And I had taken that out and didn't do very well on it. Made some adjustments, got a little better. Made some adjustments, got real good. Where I really liked that cart, but. Uh, I would say probably that one. Uh, that's one that was one of the ones I really liked, but I've liked several since then too. So, uh, and I always say everything's for sale. So, my trike, I've been kind of holding that Tricon underneath Ryan's nose, trying to get him to
Mm.
bite on it. But if he buys it, that's fine. I'm always willing to try something new. So, I wouldn't say I'm not. I like several brands, but I'm not locked into any brand.
Money talks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in my arsenal right now. I've got a Premier V2 that I like a lot. I've got the Evolve that I like a lot, and then that Tricon's done me well so far. Um,
I'll be honest with you, I was kind of nervous. I didn't know you did this as like a hobby, like on the side for racing, and I was like, oh no, is Michael getting out of racing? What's
Oh
going on?
no, yeah, that
No, I'm just
people have
selling all
asked.
my extra stuff I don't need.
They'd be asking me that a lot. People are like, "Oh man, you getting out of it? They closing the track down?" I'm like, no, no, absolutely not.
No, I just have an addiction. It's just
Yeah, dude, it's so much. And I love bringing them home dirty and not necessarily bent, but like just mangy looking. You go through like that axle's barely rolling. The chain's broke, or
yeah,
this or that. It needs
going
this,
through
this,
those
and this.
boxes that are miscellaneous.
Mhm. And that's what's cool about it too, is that I buy all this stuff and make my money back by selling the big items. Like, oh cool, look, I got this now, I got this now, and you're like, oh, I got a new durometer, I got this Micron 5 that's
Air gauge, just
yeah, for sure, yeah. um so that part's cool now too, because like I said, I can make my money back and then get some cool stuff and then I've got parts boxes that I like to hook people up whenever they come and buy a car for me, like, oh, could you throw in something like this? And yeah, I got that. Let's make it happen. So that's
you're
that's
Yeah.
fun. That's probably the most fun about the buyouts, is getting new people into karting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's a very big plus for sure.
so
But
there's a couple youngsters that just got carts, and
Kind of
they
a pretty
ran
good
their.
deal.
Yeah, they well, these his dad, they're like in the rookie class, so I got them scaled out last week, took them to our track. I ran some laps with them, got them kind of used to being on a track. Very first time on the track was last Monday.
Oh wow.
Last so Friday we did the Lawrence County Fair race, and the little kid that got the cart from me finished third, and he got a trophy.
Oh
It
sweet.
was cool.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
Awesome. I see growing up, like if we ever got a new cart, my dad would sell it, but man, I love my Triton so much. I don't think that's I think I'm keeping that for forever.
yeah.
I'm kind of so glad my brother bent mine, so I don't have an option. Like I cannot do anything with it except for hang it up. So
Yeah.
my Triton is hung up on my ceiling in my
Hey,
shop.
whoa, 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 whoa. Slow your roll, dog.
It's
I was
actually the one in
searching
his
for
picture on
speed.
his Zoom right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It is
that was
destroyed.
yeah,
it
yeah.
happens. I've
Yep.
I've
The
never
le
been one myself, but I'm sure. I mean, that's one thing, kind of, I guess, good about not running the huge tracks, is that when we wreck, we have very very few rollovers. Uh, stuff. I've backed one off of like a medium sized track, and thought for sure that the frame rails were going in the dirt, and I was going to end up on my lid, but I lucked out. Uh, but that's
Only
I
been one, so
yeah.
It was
I would
almost
say
been
brand
another.
new. It was
Yeah, it was
oh
brand
brand.
new.
It was brand
It
new.
was its like third time on the racetrack that day.
Yeah.
I would say probably the Triton has been the most common cart that's coming through the shop. I mean, there's a bunch of them out there, and everybody wants them, so
Oh
that's
yeah. You can never go wrong. Like
Oh,
like
dude.
kind of like
It's
how everyone started out on like Margays and stuff. Like
oh
kind
yeah,
of like nowadays, like the perfect starting chassis is the
it's a
Triton.
Triton
The Triton
for
is
sure.
that's
the
Or the Triton Junior.
yeah
The
Triton Junior.
either or.
yeah. The Prater guys, Michael bought a Triton off of me last year, and for his son Ozzy, and then he had a Recon, and uh, I, that's something that's kind of cool. Is like, it wasn't like a direct money like transaction, but I had a Premier that I traded for a Slack, that I traded for a Triton, that I traded Michael for his Recon. It's like we're shuffling carts around, so that part's fun too. I like being able to make things like that happen, or call this guy. I know he's gonna have something like this, or see if he wants to sell this. And
It's kind of like
uh,
taking. It's like that little game you always see. It's like take this pencil and turn it into a car. Yeah,
bingo, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. But
I
yeah,
started with a spindle and have a full blown go kart.
right, yeah.
That's
I,
cool.
I I like being able to, make those solve those problems and stuff like that. Or, if someone's looking for this part, I can go dig through my part box and maybe help somebody out. So that's fun too.
For
Yeah.
sure.
All right, man. So
Here's
the
the fun
question
one.
we've all been waiting for. Why does Joey Logano suck so bad?
Well, I don't know, man. That's so I was thinking about this, and I think if we're talking about Joey Logano, I think we would probably agree on most of the things about him. Like, he's just uh so he's a little bit of a hypocrite. He likes
Uh-huh.
to give and complain whenever he gets it back. I understand that and agree with it. Uh, but he is a three-time champ. He's kind of a nerd. That's okay with me.
I
It's
will
it's
I
it's
will give him that he will go down as one of the best in this generation.
This
he,
era of
This era
NASCAR for
era of
sure.
NASCAR, he will go down as top three. You
he's
know?
mastered this format, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
he
I,
is. Um,
I respect him in the talent department.
yeah.
Everything else about that man, dude.
kick
Nah.
rocks, kick rocks. You know what I hate too? You know what I hate so much is I started watching NASCAR Full Speed, and that
Yeah.
dude is so cool at home. He's so cool. Like I feel like I could hang out with him,
Did you
but
guys did you see
because
that clip when they interviewed him and went through his garage, like the
yes,
cars?
like
Oh
he
my
like
God.
his thought process and everything when it comes to like he's just a guy's guy, but he's such a hypocrite. I
I,
cannot.
that's
I
that's
can't.
they
I
put the
can't.
helmet on. He's a
I
different
can't.
person.
I
That
I'm really mad right now. It was a good race. Well, I'm freaking pissed off right now. Like,
yeah.
shut up.
Oh,
Shut
Dude.
oh, frick.
up. Yeah.
No,
Gosh.
but
Man, I
so
hate that I have to turn off the TV when he comes out of four in the lead on the last lap. Like I
yeah.
just I can't listen to anything he says.
So
Yeah,
yeah, that's all valid things. That's fine. So I gotta throw this story out there so you guys can maybe understand where it came from. So I'm like it's like 2009 ish, and I turn on. My grandpa's always got the race on, and I'm watching a little bit with him. So actually, the Bud Shootout they used to do before Daytona,
Yeah.
hmm
I
They had to pull
remember.
the cans and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember. I think either his crew chief had to go up with him or go draw for him because he was
Because
too
he
young.
was under 21. Yep.
Yeah. So that like from that's kind of where it started. Like, oh, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm young. He's a young guy. Let's see this guy do good. And I've not been a loyal NASCAR fan ever since then. But I've got like a super tiny shirt in my drawer. I'm hoping my son can wear one day. But it's a Joe Gibbs number 20. Like right whenever he got into the 20 car. So it's like
Yeah.
it's not even been like just recently. I've been a fan. So he's
Yeah. I'm
before
surprised you're
he's
not
going through
wearing
this
a Joey
stuff.
Logano shirt right now.
I thought about it and I was like, that's all right. They get the picture.
But like, okay, so growing up, I watched NASCAR in the early 2000s. That's when I started, and I was a DEI guy. I hated Jeff Gordon. Hated
Mhm.
him. I got in trouble on from my dad because I said something on Bob's Four Cycles when I was a kid about how much Jeff Gordon sucked, and like a lot of people commented and were like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I said anyway. But now that Jeff Gordon's retired, I can look back and be like,
Sure.
dude was kind of badass, you know.
Absolutely.
And I have a feeling that later on in my life, I can look back once he retires and be
Well,
like,
if you weren't
If you don't
like
watch
a
all his interviews or post race interviews, just watch his
yeah,
stats.
yeah,
yeah.
sure. And then the same thing
And the
with Jimmy.
greatest. Oh, sorry.
No,
I was
like
a
you go.
It's going on.
same with Jimmy, but it also the greatest. My favorite moment in NASCAR history is when Matt Kenseth wrecked Joey Logano at Martinsville.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's it puts a when I have a bad day, I put that clip on
I
and
watched
it
it
makes me
today and I was
smile.
like, yeah, that's so I was actually kind of thinking about that. I was like, maybe you know, that was he was having a good year in 2015 when that happened, but his actions led to his demise, and that year, and
100%.
maybe that could have been his first championship that year, but last year probably shouldn't have been his championship, but things happen,
They
and
don't ask how.
yeah,
They don't ask
exactly,
how.
yeah,
It
Oh,
took
I'm asking how, brother. I'm asking how.
one person getting disqualified
yeah,
to move
Bowman,
ahead.
yeah,
I mean, you can't say I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. I don't like it, but
it shouldn't
he
have happened. Like it's
he
like,
took the situation and made the best of it.
oh,
It's not like he
absolutely,
went the next round and got kicked out at round of eight. He
right,
made it to the final four, then won. I mean, like
yeah,
it's did
yeah,
he?
but oh,
Does he have a horseshoe up his ass? Probably, but
probably gets uncomfortable leaning back on all those trophies, man.
yeah,
Big old
I'm sure it gets
championship.
annoying having to build more shop space.
I was gonna ask you, Chance, you work for Coca-Cola?
Yes, I do.
So who's your favorite Coke driver? You got the 3, the 9, the 11, 22, and 99.
It's probably Denny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely Denny actually.
Yeah.
Because
You know,
all I don't hate Daniel. I have nothing against Daniel. I
right.
like when he won Atlanta, that was awesome.
Yep.
That was a great race. But the three, dude, I felt like so I went to Texas last year because I had a feeling that Truex was retiring. It was right before he announced he was retiring.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
had just bought his championship color chrome diecast, and I was like,
Right.
I'm gonna do what I can to get this signed. Well, he ended up having a meet and greet at Bass Pro. Who's the other Bass Pro guy? Austin Dillon.
Right.
They were both there. I just went straight up to Martin, talked to him, he signed it, and I left. And my dad and I felt like an asshole because my dad like passed me up and went talk to Austin Dillon.
Right.
And I was like, dude, I don't even care that you're here, dude.
You could talk 30 seconds with Truex or 30 minutes with Dylan, and you're like, ah, let's
Right.
go home.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
have one
exactly.
cool fact about Austin Dillon. Um,
He
I
drove into the back of
watched,
Joey Logano last year and ruined his
no,
race.
I watched the number three car go back to victory lane for the first time since Dale
Oh,
did. I
okay.
was there at the 600 on the
Yeah.
fuel mileage race when Austin Dillon won it after a rain delay. So that was cool. Um,
Yeah, because who ran out of fuel?
uh, Kyle
I think it
Busch,
was
Jr., and
fuck
Jimmy
off.
Johnson.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson ran out of fuel. Also, to go off of what you said about Daniel and his Atlanta win, it was not cool. No, it wasn't.
Oh
Nothing was
yeah,
cool about it. All right. So
that finish was pretty sick. I mean,
Yeah.
the finish
it's
was
crazy.
cool, but I did not buy the diecast on the fact that I would have had to look at a Daniel Suarez car right next to that Kyle Busch car. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
So going, you're 6 years into this, um, what would be some advice if you had to restart today but knew everything you knew now? What's something you would tell yourself?
So myself, I mean, get the car set up. I mean, and then just drive laps, drive laps, drive laps. So that's whenever somebody new is getting a car from me and like they want to know everything about it, it's like I tried to like hold back on telling them about, grinding tires and prepping tires and stuff like that. It's like I try to maybe help them understand that, we have to eliminate the driver mistakes before we can fine tune from there. So in my opinion, we gotta, spend the time, pay your local guy $50, $100 to get your cart scaled out and then get in the car, get comfortable. That is so important, I think. Um, I've got heel rests in all my carts just because the short track we're like this all the time. We don't flat foot anywhere that we go, so like I've got to be comfortable in the cart and make sure the cart's set up, and then once you start running consistent laps, then maybe make the next step. Think about starting to do some more tire work or stuff like that. But and I think any chassis can work if you put the time in to get it figured out.
Yeah.
Here's the manufacturer's recommendations. Okay, that's great for, South Carolina huge tracks, for Shay Chavis's driving style, but how you drive at your local track or, that may be a little bit different. I think you can fine tune it to be what you want it to be. Um, I've actually drove bent go-karts that I bought knowing they were bent, but it was a way for me to get into a newer cart, and
Yeah.
I've actually done well on a couple of those. But um, yeah, like setup and comfort are very, very important. I think to be able to succeed.
Absolutely. I mean, that's actually really good advice, especially about the tire thing, because once you throw tires in there, man, it's just like, what is this? What
It's
you
easy to
mean I
get
have to take
overwhelmed.
a grinder to my tires? Like,
Yeah,
what are you talking about? And then what
yeah,
is this chemical? Is that gonna kill me? Like,
right,
Paint
right,
thinner. I've only used that on my walls.
yeah,
yeah,
but that's really good advice. And it's funny you say you have heel extensions. I'm very short, so the Triton was the first to have the little pedal and then like pedal stops on the actual frame. So I use the frame as
yeah,
my heel stops, because
right.
I'm a very short fella.
It's like I said, I think it's easy for new people to get overwhelmed when they see how much, people do to get a car. If, what it takes for me to get my small block open for a race, is quite a bit. But when we got started, we'd have like the box stocks or the stage one Predators, and we would roll them out of the trailer with dirty tires, top them off with fuel, and just go out and race and have fun. And that's when a lot of us didn't have body kits on. We were just out there turning laps till we ran out of fuel. We'd stop, take a break, and then go right back out, run dusty laps. We were just having a good time. I remember the first time I saw a guy with gloves on wiping his tires. I'm like, look at this guy. Like they're just gonna get dirty as soon as you set them down.
Oh, so
And
funny.
then boy did he flip my world upside down. I realized how much, and now I'm that clown that's wiping them all the time. But
Uh, Getting your tires dirty when they hit the ground.
yeah, that's something that's kind of been a challenge, I think, is like because we don't charge, like we don't I help with tech sometimes. I've got a couple guys that have helped me with tech before, but we don't have a reliable tech that's going to be there every single night and tear down and catch everybody that's doing something they shouldn't be. But that's what I try to keep the fun aspect up. We've tried the claim rules and stuff, and that really hasn't worked very well because we're all such good friends. It's like, I don't want to claim his motor. It's like, he's
No one
gonna be
wants to
mad.
think any of your buddies are cheating, while you're trying to race each other,
Sure, but I mean, I would love like maybe just do like an AJC or a Reaper class. It's absolutely no prep. Maybe it's something that I do is go buy 10 sets of rims, and the first 10 people to sign up for this class can get an engine and a sealed engine and a set of tires. Run them dirty, stuff like that. I think
Kind of leave them
that
at the scoring tower, like take them off,
yeah,
put them on, and
yep.
then yeah,
And I've seen stuff like that. I don't need, I'm not trying to sign myself up for more things to do because like I said,
Yeah.
sometimes I'm trying to get, I'm dragging the speakers out before the race and, my cart may not be ready. It's
yeah.
like,
You don't sound very bored, so you might want to be careful.
no, that's, I got my 2-year-old son. I love hanging out with him. I try to be dad first. And then when he goes to bed, then it's like, stay up late and get everything else done. But, we've got some super good people, my mother-in-law, my grandma and stuff, able to help out on race nights with him, chase him around. But uh, it's I'm not complaining at all. I like being a busy person, so
Yeah,
uh, but those are some ideas maybe I would like to possibly see a direction we could go. Uh, but like I really like you want it to be fair across the board, and you want anybody to with talent to be able to succeed. You know, Cart setup driver ability is something I would like to see determine races, not necessarily, how new your cart is or how good your tire program is,
yeah, for sure. Kind of
or if you're
put it
cheating,
back in
how
the
much you
put.
got to cheat.
Yeah, put it back to the feet and the pedals and the steering wheel.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But
Chance, you there?
So, yes, sir. I sorry, had to get rid of the camera.
All good. Just
But
double checking.
yep. So, what's something people may not know about you, man? It's a
so
fun
this is,
fact.
yeah, here's one. So, right before I got back into karting, I was actually starting to get back into skateboarding a little bit. So that's kind of funny. Uh,
Do a kickflip.
Yeah, exactly. I've done that in the last 5 years, but that's not, I used to do like a little bit in high school, maybe. I guess I had one in college, but I was never like super good. I just like riding around, going up and down ramps. But I actually bought a couple ramps off Facebook Marketplace, and I was going to a couple local skate parks. So that's kind of a funny thing, but
I don't think you have a go-kart buying and selling addiction. I think you have a Facebook Marketplace
that
addiction.
very well could be. Yeah, yeah. That's my self-control isn't super strong. I like fun, so I'm all about, I would say kind of like an adrenaline junkie. I like the thrill
Anything that
of
gets the blood pumping.
Yeah, for sure. But something else I kind of like to do in my spare time is I like to play poker. It's another little fun fact or something people may not know. Uh, I heard a couple of the guys from Indiana talking. They came over for the Dirt Classic race, and they said that they might do something like that at like the night before the Jackie Bieber Memorial
Hmm.
over
There
at
you
Big
go.
Blue. So maybe I can make it to that this year. That'd be cool.
Yeah, really
Oh, yeah.
cool.
Get me a case of a bush apple while you're up there, because I
Shit.
apparently he's been buying like cases of
Oh,
among cases of it. I have him
really?
as a friend on Facebook, and I just
Yeah.
see him like every weekend. He just has his truck loaded with bush apple. I can't find it here, and I've been looking for months. But
Really? Yeah.
yeah.
the Baffle.
Yeah, a good old Babel.
Yeah,
It's gonna be out of season by the time it gets down here.
Oh, it's
right.
already out of season. I'm pretty sure that's over with.
You guys had like the peach and the lime yet?
I think I saw the lime. I
Lime's
think.
new. The peach is like seasonal too, I think.
Yeah, I saw the peach before, and we had the apple 2 years ago because
Mhm.
for Batesville, me
Yeah.
and Ethan were drinking some while watching Batesville live
What?
stream.
You guys
Yeah.
drink at Batesville? That's
No,
crazy.
no, wait, no, yeah,
No.
yes, but no,
Yes, but
we were at Ethan's house watching the live stream
I got you. I got
that
you.
year.
That might have been part of the reason why my Friday and Saturday didn't go very well. My Thursday was pretty late and a little
Mm,
wild, and we stayed at the Horseshoe at Tunica like the night
oh
before.
shit. Yeah, that's
yeah,
not
that'll
it's
that'll happen.
And like my fun fact played into why I was not in bed by curfew.
yeah.
I used to play a lot of like Texas Hold'em when me and my stepbrothers were really really young,
Yeah,
and then they
that's
stopped playing with me because I got really lucky and won every single
yeah.
hand.
Uh,
I'm a
It's
blackjack guy. I'm not good with numbers. Like it just all right, just under 21 or at 21, wherever we go.
you
That's
ever do
all
the
I
no
need.
buck strategy?
No, what's that?
I mean, it's just you don't take a card if you're at 12 or higher. Just
I
make the
always
dealer
thought it
beat
was
you every
15
time.
or higher. I always
Well,
thought it
no, that's like the book, like what
yeah.
they say when you versus that. But like sometimes for fun, I'll play like the no. Like I hate beating myself, so I make the dealer beat me. Like
Yeah.
so,
If the dealer
if
beats
he
you,
got
it's
a
kind of feels
12,
you a little better.
because it's like it seems like every time I hit the 12, then the face card comes and ruins it for me.
Yeah. Unless it's an
But
ace. Yeah, ace will save the day.
yeah, but yeah, we ought to get a game going for Batesville next year.
Yeah, for sure. We just I'll just bet all of our entry fee money.
I came out ahead last year, but that's probably not going to happen the next time. It's a roller coaster, but
For sure. But we have this rapid fire segment. It's 5 questions. You pick and let's get into it. Favorite
wow.
color?
Ooh, blue or orange. I feel like a lot of my body kits kind of go to those. My very first one was blue, and then the next one was orange, and since then I kind of bounced around, tried some other stuff, but
For
uh,
sure. Yeah.
those are probably my top two.
Favorite food?
Ooh, steak number one, honorable mention Mexican.
Mexican. Mexican
solid.
all the way up in Illinois. Are you sure it's authentic?
No, it's absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Favorite sport outside of racing?
As I was probably basketball. I
Basketball.
don't follow like the NBA, but I like to hear like the highlights and stuff. But uh, the Indiana Hoosiers, I've got a couple friends that are super big Indiana Hoosier fans, so they've brought me along to a few games, so
For
that's
sure.
cool.
Pizza
Assembly
or
Hall
wing?
is nuts. Go ahead.
Pizza or wings?
Uh, Pizza.
Pizza. And then
Yeah.
obviously, other than the man himself, favorite driver.
Okay. It would be Joey for one, but then Mark Martin before him. My mom was a big Mark Martin fan,
Respect,
so
respect.
I like the number six. I wore number six in high school baseball. I was I
Solid pick.
like the
Very
Valvoline
solid.
car. It was super cool.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Well, you've listened to a lot of episodes, so you know the next two questions coming. What's
Yeah.
something you like about the sport?
So my first one would be the thrashing. So I was telling you guys I like showing up with a bunch of carts, and you know, I kind of like the panic when things aren't going great. You know, you got to change this or that. A clutch locks up. You know, there's a fair race where like a header bolt like broke off in the head. Like I had to do stuff, and like we making something happen. You know, before feature time and getting back out there is fun. Uh, I like the thrashing at nighttime, like getting ready for a race. You know, the night before it's like I'm a bad procrastinator, so you know, whenever I'm trying to get everything ready, I like getting out there in the shop and just kind of losing track of time and just working on stuff. That's part of the reward of doing well is like knowing that you put the time in to get there. But that and then obviously the people, that's everybody's answer. But man, I've met some very cool people throughout uh, the past few years, and the relationships you build, and even like friends you make that don't always stay with racing, because like I said, I've got to see a lot of people come in and out of the sport, but uh, you know, they're you still make those friends, you see them out and about, and it's good to catch up and talk with them. But something cool like that has came from your guys' podcast too, like these names of these people that I would never have known if I hadn't listened to the interview. It's like, I show up at Batesville, I'm walking around, I'm seeing all these names, like, oh, there's Playboy Preston Sparks, there's
Mm.
Cameron Cupcake Lambert. Like
Yeah,
I never would have known those things without, listening to their episode and kind of hearing their stories. So that's super cool too. So what you guys do, like, I hope that you understand the impact that it has for the people that tune in every week, but it's super cool.
yeah,
I appreciate that,
we
man.
appreciate
Yeah,
it for sure.
absolutely.
What would be your favorite episode?
Oh man. As far as like learning, I think I really like everybody loved the Matt Connell one, of course.
Yeah.
The Christmas specials are funny. I like that. The 3 day special is
we
funny. I like you guys
we
loosening up a
piece those
little
together a lot. Like
bit.
we'll be texting like the day of, like, hey guys, what do you
Yeah,
want to talk about?
yeah. I thought it was cool. I don't know if you guys did. Maybe it was Ethan up in the booth at Batesville. I was tuning in on my pit pass or race pit road TV, I
Pay
think.
TV,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So I thought that was cool when you like, I mean, and you guys tied in some interviews like at Batesville. I
yeah,
think maybe 2 years ago.
yeah.
I thought that was
We're gonna try and work that out this year again. So
yeah.
see what happens.
Running 22 classes out of your pits, you're gonna have time for
Well,
interviews.
we interviewed on Thursday. We interviewed on
Oh,
Thursday while we were
okay,
all parking stuff, and
okay, I gotcha.
don't. We'll say hi and bye while we're walking past each other on Friday and Saturday. And Saturday night
Yeah,
will be all right.
yeah.
But yeah. So you know it. On the flip side, was something you want to see change. Obviously it seems like you guys got it pretty good up there. But
That's
as sport as a whole,
sure. I would like. I mean, I hate it whenever people say, "Oh, you have to do things our way," but I wish people could see kind of how things are. Come try it out. Come hang out, come make an event, and kind of get that feel of what the environment's like. Whenever you get out to one of our shows, I like that. Like I was mentioning before, maybe getting into some of those classes where I don't know whether the treaded tire is the answer or the no prep on a cheaper set of tires could be a direction to go. Tire rental at the track or whatever. But um, maybe put more focus on the fun, get some more cool trophies out there, and maybe cut a couple of those money shows. Which personally, I've never made a dollar on any race night of my life. I've run a couple shows and I took home $80 once. I think that's my biggest purse to date. It's like, and I'm okay with that. But and maybe if I've won, if I would win, a big event, that would change my mind on something. But I'm sure that's a buzz like you've never felt. But I would like to see more people kind of get to experience that laid back fun. Maybe it'll keep more people grow the sport a little bit. Uh, I think each has their place, but you know, maybe get a little bit of less money spent and won and more fun had.
stop making it so much about the dollar signs.
Yeah, yeah, for
It's so
sure.
it's so hard once you get in that
Oh
mindset
yeah,
to not
sure.
think like that.
And and maybe I'm a hypocrite for saying that because I do have some newer carts out there. But if we agreed on something that maybe we go to that older cart requirement maybe for a class could be fun. Or and yeah, that's keep the fun at the forefront of
Yeah, for
more
sure.
people's. Yeah,
I admire that a lot. I really do.
yeah. Well, thank you. Uh, I know people have talked about like the class count and stuff. Something we started our year one. We had two classes. We had like the stage one and the open, and then we've been guilty of adding classes and adding classes and adding classes. But I feel like lately that's been more towards the rookie side or the junior side, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah,
We don't run a lot of clones, but the rookies are in the restricted clone stuff, and we're trying to be in the same vicinity of the rule set as like what AKRA is doing up here, weight rules and engine packages and stuff. But we still are able to put our show through our small car counts. We can buzz them through, have a good show for the people in the stands, and get racers home on time. one of our racers, Sean Van Meter, he's from Mount, like probably 30 to 40 minutes south of here. He said, "Man, I love coming to your guys' show because at the end of the night we can hit up Dairy Queen before they close on our way home."
That's
So,
awesome.
Yeah,
Well, man, we appreciate you coming on. Last question would be anyone you'd like to thank?
yeah. So, of course, thank you guys for having me. I've always like I've listened, I've tuned in. I was like, man, I would love to be on that one of these days, but I'm not dare gonna ask. Like, I'm
Yeah.
honored that you guys reached out to me. So, thank you guys for having me.
oh, for sure.
Of course, so I've got my wife, my son, because they allow me to do this sport that I really love. My grandpa puts up a lot of money for making the track happen, and uh, we're our family owned construction company. It's like third generation, but he lets me knock off a little bit early on race day and go
Yeah.
ahead and get the trailer loaded up and all that kind of stuff. So that anyone that comes out to watch the races at MB33 comes out to race, brings their families out, stuff like that. Uh, Ryan Baker, thank you for always getting my engines done and done well. Um, Buddy Wilson, Kyle Phelps, they've helped me out with tires and setup help. Ryan's helped me out with a lot of setup help too. Our local kart guy, kart shop, Todd Cooper, he's always hooked us up, helped out at the track. Him and Lance Scheidler help us. They're kind of the owners of the other tracks, and we like to kind of shuffle around any equipment or anything we need to make a race happen. They're always willing to lend a hand or lend the equipment or whatever that takes. Um, Jason Downey at Ace Graphics, he's been hooking me up with all that kind of stuff. And then all my customers, anybody that's ever any of the guys that come through bought carts from me, and some vendors, ARC, PRC, Ultramax. All those people are super helpful on the phone, helping understand what kind of racing we've got going on around here and helping us figure out these carts and get them going fast. And then Deb and Chris see High Performance. They've helped me out a lot. We actually I've been using their super brake rotors for on my carts because the very short tracks were on and off all the time, and
Yeah.
I've been glazing over those thick rotors. They just don't get it done
And
for
then
me.
they just
So
kind of go away. Yeah.
yeah. So we gotta have those. But yeah, just the family, the friends, anybody that's helped out the track, and uh, yeah. So
Oh yeah, man. Well,
I think that covers. I try to make a list. There's some that I left out, but if you guys have ever helped us out in a way, you know who you are. So thank you.
yeah,
Absolutely.
it's we man, I enjoyed it. It's fun. It's finally nice to get a full conversation. I know we were kind
Yeah,
of in passing at the drivers meeting at Batesville, but
that's all
thanks for all
good.
the support, man. Like you've supported us for a while, and we really appreciate it. We're glad we got to sit down and talk with you and kind of hear your story,
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's free to click that like button. So, like I said, I try and share stuff here and there and let people know what you guys are doing. So it's a good thing for this karting community, and you guys just keep rolling with it. You're doing good things.
We appreciate it, man.
We
Y'all are killing
appreciate
it
that,
up
man.
there. Y'all are killing it, man. Y'all got to keep it up. Y'all are doing great. Keep the fun. I'd say keep the fun. Keep the fun
Yeah,
where
for
it's
sure.
at. Branch
Yep.
out when you want to, but keep it fun at the heart,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Yeah.
for sure. But thanks, Michael, again. Y'all have a great night. If y'all going racing this weekend, y'all be careful. Good luck, and we'll hopefully see you in Mississippi here at the end of the
Yeah.
month, end of the year.
Absolutely. Yep.
Absolutely, man.
Tell Colton and Ethan I said what's up. So we'll
Yes,
see you guys
sir.
soon.
Take
Will
care,
do.
man.
You have a
Right
good
on.
one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.